Welcome to the Daniel Stee Podcast. The theme of today is Mindset Mastery. Today's episode is on how to stop caring what other people think of you. Why are you concerned about what others think about you? We all struggle with it, what others think. Why is this? Why do we care what other people think about us? The reason is survival. Think about it. You're up for a promotion at work. Success as a musician and recording artist, especially on your second album when you need a repeat of your success. In relationships, dating, you don't want to be alone. College admissions, you're going into an interview. You wear a suit. You want to get accepted. If you're an actor going to an audition, it's really hard because you have to have humility, not be high maintenance, but you also have to give it your all, kind of not care what people think. Another one is everyone wants to be helpful. The issue is few are actually good communicators and none of us are mind readers. So we post on social media what we think others are thinking and respond to that, and then you wonder how people are going to respond to you. So some suggest you should not worry about what other people think. That's not helpful either. It's actually the right thing to do to consider, am I engaging in this conversation in a heartfelt way that inspires and uplifts somebody and contributes to solving a problem, making the world a better place, while also at the same time expressing my disagreement. I heard you, I understand, I have a different opinion, and that's useful. But it's not a good idea to take criticism personally. It's a good thing to not care what other people think that way, especially again because you don't actually know what they are thinking. They may not have expressed, I guarantee they did not express how they are really feeling, the intention of the communication perfectly. If you have a great idea, solution to a problem, but your comments offend and turn people off, you're wasting your time and only contributing to the problem. Meaning if you get angry and you go on social media and you say, I'm going to get you, not good either. So where things go south is when you start to think you actually know what someone else is thinking. Here's the real problem. You read someone's social media reply, and keeping in mind they have not taken the time to craft a response that's actually useful and appropriate, not personally attacking you, but sticks to the issue. You will see this often if people don't even know what they're talking about, and yet they're throwing their feedback out there. You think you know what they're thinking, and you don't. What can you do about it? What can you do about this issue of caring what other people think? When you need to care a little bit, you also need to say what's on your mind in a confident, clear way and communicate effectively. Well, for starters, therapy is not going to help. Books that you read aren't really going to help because none of them are going to help you read somebody else's mind. The thing to remember is you're always going to be wrong. You do not know what somebody's thinking until you ask and start communicating. And it's going to take more than one question. Like, how are you feeling? Oh, good. Immediate automatic response from people. How's your day going? Good. How about you? It's automatic. But yet you see the frown on their face. And you're now trying to work. It could be at work, in business or something, trying to work with them on a project. And you're like, are you sure? It's going to take a few questions. You're not a mind reader. If you pay attention and ask, you'll see you're never correct in actually knowing what somebody was thinking. So the solution is to talk. Open your mouth. Say hello. I'm getting the idea that what you just said means this. Is that true? Someone says something to you, repeat it back to them in your words. I'm thinking that this is what you said. Is that right? Am I right about that? Tell me more. Some say you will never be able to control how others think and feel about you. That's absolutely true, because again, you don't know what they're thinking. Now, you shouldn't care if they like you. Definitely can't care if they like you. The stars, the football, the movie stars, the rock stars will tell you this. It's a problem. You have to care and put out good music and win the game and do what people are expecting because you want to bring them happiness and joy and entertain them. But on the flip side, when they say they don't like you, it really hurts because that's part of your strategy is kind of, it's not to get people to like you, it's just to do stuff that they like. So how can you control it? It's often a problem in communication because you're trying to control them. It's a bad feedback loop. Like engineering, we'd call it a bad feedback loop. The sensor's not calibrated, it's off. So all your efforts to control are just making a bigger mess out of things because your sensor is not feeding back stuff properly. And why is that? Because you're not a mind reader and you're not talking to somebody. And if you are, you're not asking the right questions. That's the real problem. So what's the solution to this? Don't try to be a mind reader. Ask and find out what somebody really means. Unless you also have the skills to do this in a way that's productive and not aggressive and assertive, it's going to escalate things to anger and frustration on both sides, especially when the other person's not a good communicator and doesn't have the skills to respond with what they're really thinking, rather something that's defensive in what's going on in their head. Because they also think they know what you're thinking, and they also are not mind readers, but yet they're doing that feedback loop back to engineering. Your sensors are wrong. So you got to get your sensors calibrated. So how do you control this? You can't control what people think, but you can influence them. So to sidetrack here a little bit, you can influence people. This is what advertising on television and social media and TikTok and Facebook, advertising influences you to buy things. Wearing a suit to work, if you're at a job interview or working at the bank, it influences how others think. It's have an effect on what people think of you. So can you make people like you? No. You can influence them. And to the opposite, nobody likes someone who fakes it just to be liked. Nobody likes somebody who wants to be liked. We want people to be authentic, who they are. So the solution is a 3-part formula. Number 1, understand you don't know what someone's thinking. And number 2, just as important, they do not know what you're thinking. So verify it. Find out. How do you do that? You communicate. You talk. You ask them. Do this courteously, with kindness and with empathy, while you stand in your power and you be yourself. Before I say something, I'm going to be really clear. Is this what you meant when you said that? Now, some people are going to be difficult. They don't have, at that moment, the capacity like you might be trying to do, no matter how much smoke comes out of your head, trying to take your time, pause, communicate effectively. They might be so shut down because in their head, something so big's going on in their head with their partner, their job, whatever. They're checked out, so to speak. To those people, be kind. Just walk away and basically say, have a nice day. This conversation's over. Mark Twain once said also not to get into an argument with someone who is, and this is his words, not mine. Never get into an argument with someone who is, they will beat you down to the level and win. You're not trying to win. You're trying to understand someone better, and they're not in that moment able to do that. Back to survival and surviving in today's world. There's a balance between saying, I don't care what people think. Let them think what they want to think. And speaking up when you know you have something positive to offer, something that could make their day better, make your day better, make the work project go better, then you don't want to just keep your mouth shut and say, I don't care. So here's what to do. Choose your words carefully, remembering you don't know what the other person's thinking. Remove anything emotional from what you say. Stick to the facts and feed back those facts. This is what I think you were saying. Is that correct? I'm not trying to be difficult, but I just want to understand, is this what you mean? Okay, no, is this what you mean? When you're not sure, just ask for more information. Is this what you're thinking? I love to ask people, what are you thinking? Their brain sometimes is so far off in left field, and they have this something on their face that's not matching, and you think they're judging you, thinking about you, and they're not. And it's so helpful to people when you see them that way, and you're like, hey, my name's Dan. What's up? What are you thinking about? And then let's tell you real quick. It's my boss, it's my work, it's my partner, my spouse, my girlfriend, whatever. By asking breaks their trance, and often become their friends. Never try to get somebody to agree on what you believe. Religion's a perfect example. At some point, you have to set your boundary, and we have a show on boundaries. So I'm standing in Starbucks, the line, looking at someone who's staring at me, and I think they're judging what I think. Simply saying, hi, I'm Daniel, breaks both of us out of our bubbles, and often they have something nice to say, and they enjoy talking to you. But in my head, I often start with thinking they don't like me just because they're ignoring me as I wait in line. And maybe they look different, dress different, or they're talking on their phones as if I'm invisible. It's all made better by saying hello. Host Mel Robbins suggests that if a person's in a bad mood, to let them. Me personally, I try to see if I can turn that around and make someone in a good mood. Because if they're in a bad mood, wherever they're going, it's not good for anybody. It's not just I'm trying to help them out. I'm trying to help the world out. It could feed back on me. I might go to my new job and see if they work there. And this is my opportunity to help change their day. Say hello. She also says if a person has a negative opinion of me, to let them. But if you're not a mind reader, you're not certain that they do have a negative opinion on you, really. But when I am, in fact, certain, then I disengage. I know I'm a good person. If someone thinks you're a bad person, it's an argument you can't win. It's not just about you. Each person has their own beliefs to religion, the government, and that includes you. That's a belief they made about you somehow. Actually, the better way to say it is, it's not about caring what other people think. It's about caring what other people believe. No, you can't control that. You don't really want to control somebody else's beliefs. But we've been speaking about not caring what other people think about you, judge. And you don't know. You can never know unless they tell you and you talk. I mean, if your neighbor says, I think you're a bad person. Okay, they've got their mind made up. That's their belief. You ask them why. Well, because your dog poops on my lawn. I know, my brother, for example, he's got dogs. And so he doesn't care if dogs poop on his lawn. Does that make me a bad person? And I didn't know that you felt that way. They're basing their opinion on limited experience of you. They too are judging you based on their previous experience on how somebody else like you acted, was like, that talked, and so forth, and behaved. They're pre-programmed. We are all pre-programmed with our past experience. So to change this, you just need to get to know each other better and be clear. Back to, you're a bad guy. Oh, why? Because your dog poops on my lawn. Oh, I didn't know you didn't want my dog to poop on your lawn. When I have a situation where I try to be friendly, but someone's persistently being a jerk, my process is this. I'm better than this. I'm not going to be like a child in second grade. And some suggest I'm too soft or give my power away by being nice and not aggressive. To the contrary, if you are aggressive or assertive or confrontational in any way, that's actually caring what somebody else thinks. So back to my exit strategy. When someone gets real hot-headed, I'm like, you know what, I can't talk to this person. They're going to want to have the last word. I let them. I let them have the last word, not because I don't care what they think. I can't engage with them because they're in a state where no matter how I try to communicate, they really think and believe they know how I think when they're not even listening. That's a key thing, a key skill. I go, Daniel, pause for a minute, listen. A lot of times I'm in the head. I'm this Einstein in my head and a lot of thoughts going up. Listen to the words they are saying and then verify. I'm going to let them have the last word in and remind myself that they felt they needed to get the last word in because they care what you think. You can be better than that. You can do better by understanding you don't know what somebody else is thinking. Ask them. At the end of the day, you might feel better walking away and letting someone get the last word or thinking you're the bigger person, but in fact, you're also to blame for not making that person a better person. So strive to achieve pleasant endings in all of your engagements. Wake up each day with the goal of uplifting and inspiring someone to be the best they can in a positive, encouraging, useful way. Be the best person you can. Live your dream. Do the thing you want to do. Keep working on yourself. Keep working on your communication skills. Be proud of who you are and your achievements. Then you truly can think, you know what? I don't care what other people think. And remember, you never know what they're thinking until they tell you and you verify it with good communication skills and talking. Till next time, thanks for listening. I'm Daniel Stee.